back and good morning. Alright, today we are going to work on this 56. I'm going to get the front end of it done up to the fuse box. The updated one, I'll show you that one in a minute. And then should be able to call it a day, I believe. As long as I get all that wired in up to the back or the front of the cab, we should be good. Alright, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we're back on the 56. And if you guys don't know about how to get into the headlight here, this beauty ring right here, or bezel, whatever you want to call it, those just pop off. And then check out this wiring and solder some better wiring into it so we can go to the back side. And I'll show you that fuse box as soon as we get over there. Alright, so now I got this guy out where I can see it. Red paint. Now I'm going to show you guys how to pop this guy off. Just like that. So I was removing all the bolts because we gotta get underneath here. We ran into a problem child. All she's doing is spinning. This one will come out. But I put that one back in so I can work on getting that guy out. Then we'll work on that and off she goes. Alright, so here's what we're after. We gotta fix this. This is, again, this is not cool. We gotta make this look a lot better than this. I don't even know what's underneath there, but we're about to find out. Yeah. Come here. Come here. This is what's all wrapped up underneath there. This can easily cause a freaking fire. Alright. Be right back with you guys. Let me come up with a game plan on, well, I think what I'm going to do is just start over there, put fresh wire going up that way, and make sure everything's hooked in. This is by far unacceptable. Let me get some wire together. Well, I need to get me some green wire because I don't have any. But when I come back, I'll show you a trick that I do to so you don't have a wire mess. I'll show you when I get back. Alright, I'm back. So you know when you have a spool of wire that's like this, or you have to zip tie it together like this so it doesn't go unravel like crazy? Let me show you something. I started doing this and it just made it easier for me. Stay put. Stay. See, if that fell, it all unraveled. So I went and bought this one right here. So I just cut the back side of the box so I can get into there and take the zip ties off on it. Then I put a little cross right here. So all you have to do is pull the wire out. Just like that. And it stays in the package. It doesn't spool all over the place. If you want, you can tape it back up if you like, or staple it, or whatever you need to do to keep it closed up. But I haven't had any problems with it yet, and I just started doing this probably maybe a year ago. But if it's on a spool, I don't worry about it. But something like this, an individual pack, yeah, I can just pull it out like that and done deal. We got the same thing going on over here. We're going to take this all apart and see where we stand. I know a lot of you are saying, Jason, why are you unraveling it all? Why don't you just put new wiring in? I am. But here's the thing. As much as I love wasting wire, I would like to have the exact length of everything I have so I'm not doing any guesswork. So a little time and effort versus too short with wire, got to start all over, versus do it this way, a little less time. I mean, probably has a little time, but at least I can get the exact length of the wire I need. I don't need to be goofing around with that stuff. I got most of this already unraveled. I still got to work over there, but I am trying to find out why we got two different color wires. This isn't good. So that's what I'm doing. Put some fresh, good wire in here, just like I did the GTO. I unraveled it all, looked for the broken wires, and got them out of there. So now we got a wire that's too short right here because they connected it. I plan on doing it all one solid piece. There's no reason, because right now, the way they taped it up, that's just junk. I'd rather have one solid over here to there and then back over to the fuse box. That's what we're going to do. But right now, I think I'm done right now for the moment. I'm going to go to lunch and we'll be back. I'm back from lunch. And the one thing that irritates me the most, when you got a big old wire on this side, goes to this side to a smaller wire. This frustrates me. This wire should be the same size all the way around. That's done. Alright, now that we got passenger side all wired in, we're over here. I'm going to start working on figuring out this little mess that's going on and tell you from there. I got to take this all apart, get it all wired up into this, and I'm going to put some fasteners, or not fasteners, but I can't even think of what it's, insulation clamp or whatever you want to call it. I'll put one right here, one over there, and it goes on grill on the inside and back down, so keep this all open so it's not dangling in the front like it was. So I've been trying to figure out what's been killing these batteries, because this is the second battery I just killed. Can't figure it out one damn bit. So of course went looking. Guess what I found? That positive wire was lining up against that header. Let's show you. Right about in that area right there. See it on the back? Laying up against the header. That is no good. That one down there looks shot as well. Or dirty. It might be just dirty. Yeah, I think it's just dirty. But yeah. We're back. Morning. It's a nice, beautiful day versus all the rain we've been having. It's kind of made it a little on the miserable side here. But anyways, let's get back on this 56. So, Last you guys all remember, right? I was working on this part here, the whole front. Well, with the help of my wife, I had to pull it all back off. Something was not adding up right. I couldn't figure it out, and for the life of me, it was the most simplest thing in the world. Where was my blinker wires? The wires that control the blinkers. Where were they? Where were they? So I kept looking around, going, "Hey, what the heck is going on?" And then I just noticed on, I believe it was the guy before, not the guy that bought this truck, the guy before him, labeled everything. Well, he labeled everything running lights. So of course I was like, all right, let's go to the running lights. So I was like, wait a second, why do we have so many wires going for running lights? So I asked the wife, hey, look it up. Give me a diagram on this dang thing because something's not right. Because it still had factory wires. It had half of factory wires, not all of it. It was all spliced in. So we now have, let's fast forward to it. So we now have from here, I'll show you. We now have from there the wires straightened out, kind of just really quickly wrapped up in some tape. I'm going to put the wire loom on it here in a second. So we have all some of the wires are replaced, some are not, and we have them all replaced going back up right there, as you can see, going into there. So those are the running lights for this guy here. No, I'm sorry, blinker lights. Those are the blinker lights. They had them hooked up to the running lights, and when we were goofing around with it, trying to figure everything out, that light right there was super bright. Nope, I lied. That was super dim. This light was super bright. And then when I bolted it back up in there, it would shut this one off. So needless to say, it started making me believe that wires were not correct. So I undid all that, went back through it so that we can figure that mess out. I was underneath the dash. I couldn't figure out why I didn't have blinkers in the front. This makes sense. So now I'm going to put the wire loom back together, get it heading back up there. I got to check the brake light switch because we don't have brake lights still. And I got to check over here and find out what's going on with this wirely mess here. And then that wire mess, I'll show you. That wirely mess. Right there. Here. Yep. Yeah. But on the side note on this, whatever wiring I've been doing has not caused that battery to die overnight like the other battery. So I think we ran into the problem and I fixed it at the same time without knowing it. And those are the good fixes. So let's tackle this brake light switch, check if there's power down to it. And I have another car coming in that I have to look at. So that's going to put a little damper in getting this thing wrapped up today. So let's get to it. So one of the things that we're going to be doing on this rig is we're going to put an updated fuse box in it. This is the one I was going to use for the GTO, but this guy does not fit in there where I want it for the GTO. It makes it stand out too far, and when you're pushing on the clutch, your foot hits pretty close. The only thing I can do is create another mount and set it up the other way, but it's going to take a little bit more time, and I don't know if he's really wanting to wait around for that much time, but I did talk to him. He said don't worry about putting that in, so we're going to use it for the 56. Alright, so right now we're at the stage where I'm going to unravel this guy and get everything marked on this side of what we're going to use. Now this is an updated fuse box. Not everything is going to get used or used for its intended purpose. This is a vehicle that doesn't have AC, doesn't have power, or not power gauges, but electric gauges. Doesn't have that. So a lot of this, like, you know, I'll probably switch the lights to the gauges to gauges for the lights. Oh, got company. Be back. Alright. So now that I got this thing unraveled, I am not necessarily going to go by what the top says, because a lot of this we're not going to be using, or is going to be used for something else. But I'm going to use it as a reference. In the paperwork, I got the paperwork here just in case, but it's self-explanatory 90% of the time. So, third one down here is going to be the headlights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this guy. So we know he's yellow in this strip right here. So we're going to pull this one up all the way up. So I can get to the yellow. And then what I like to do is take a piece of tape, slap it right here, fold it over. Then I'm going to write headlights. Now I have it written headlights, just like that. So now I'm not going to bore you with the rest of it I'm going to do, so just hang tight, let me get through all this, and I'll be right back. Alright, now I got those 4 on this line done. Now to the other ones. Here we go. Alright, so now that we got everything labeled, not sure we're going to use that guy, but I think we will. But anyways, now that we got everything labeled, let's go set that in there where it's going to look semi-pretty and get everything sized up where it needs to go. And let's get this thing rocked out. Alright, so now we're in here. Ouch. Dang it, that got me good. So now, the blinker switch is here. And we are working our way to figure out this mess here. These wires, let's have you take a look at those. See that mess of wires? That right there. Now we're going to lay this thing in here and kind of get an idea of where it's going to go and how it's going to hook up. So, give me a second. Let me try to lay this out real fast. Just like every car, I have to work underneath the dash. It always has a center console that gets in the way for my big old body to get in there. So it looks like I have to take the seat out. But I do have to note, someone's had the seat out once before. So hopefully that bolt don't break. What else? There's another bolt somewhere around here, way back there. That's going to be fun to get to. And there's bolts on the other side too. I don't know if they're all halfway hanging out. Got more wires and crap down here. What the hell is all this? What the hell is this? Oh, this is new. What? Well, we definitely need to find out if that's a live wire. What the heck is it going to? Son of a gun. Well, we got all the bolts out of the seats, or for the seat. But the rear ones, there's no bolts for the rear. So, I'm gonna go dig through my pile and see if I can find bolts that'll fit for the rear and get this thing properly mounted. Let's see if what wires underneath this thing real quick. Well, that didn't go as according to the plan. Hooked up a few things and they seem to be working. They work, but they were just going real fast, like the blower motor. That's the first thing I hooked up. That thing was screaming. I put it back to where it was, and it was just going really super slow, noisy though. But I started thinking, well, is this thing a 12 volt or 6 volt system back in its day? Because I know the 57s went to 6 volt. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. So let me do some Google search, because something's not adding up right. It is not liking the fuse box being put in there. So let me look into this a little bit more. While I got you guys here, I did test the brake light switch. We got power to it. So now let me set you guys up. You guys tell me if the brakes are coming on. I don't know, because I don't think they're 100% hooked up, but let me know. Here we go. You have brake lights? Oh. How come you guys didn't tell me if I have brake lights? Dang it. As you can see, I don't have brake lights. You can figure out why. Let's get back in there again. You know, I kept looking down on the front of this thing. I kept thinking, oh, it's just the rainwater washing off of it. Check this out. I think there's a leak on this damn thing. Not good. But right now, I'm gonna sit you guys in the back. I'm gonna run a jumper wire to that brake light switch. We're gonna test and make sure that switch is bad. So if the lights come on, well, then something's working right. If they don't come on, then I gotta figure something out. I'm not getting power past, once you put on the brake, past that switch. Power to it, but no power past it, which is telling me that it's the switch, but I'd like to confirm it. So let me get you guys set up. Alright, what do we got? No brake lights. Alright, now we know what we're gonna do. That worked. So now I know the brake switch is bad, or the master cylinder is bad. It's not creating the pressure, because this is one of those ones that have the pressure from the brake being applied that works. So next, so I'm gonna run down, get me one of those pressure, or one of those brake switches, and then figure out the turn signal. After that, everything else is almost plumbed up. I gotta get rid of some other wires, and this thing will be done. I'm gonna end it off right here. See you on the next episode. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it. Until then, keep building your builds.